Cole, and I wanted to take a look at the MG GT and some parts that I got for my Volvo today before I get started. They've started to do some body work on the MG GT. Looks like they put some filler on the rear fender flare there, and they're doing some body work on the door. They've also been doing some sanding on this front fender. You can see where it kind of goes down and then down some more. The fenders have a really nice shape to them, and I like how the headlights are recessed right there. This area right here for the headlight was just a sheet of fiberglass, and my dad put some different marks on it and kind of made a triangle and a square to find the center, and then he cut out the area for where the headlight bucket will go. The front air dam / valance is on the front. It might look like it needs quite a bit of work, but as far as fiberglass goes, it's actually in pretty good shape. You can really see how wide those fender flares are. Back here is where the fender comes close to this cowling panel, and it looks like he must have put some tape right along in there before he put some filler on it, and then he'll undoubtedly cut along that tape and then sand this filler so that there's a nice transition from one panel to the next. There's different grades of fillers, and these two little indentations right there and that are going to be kind of hard to sand out. He might just sand down that rough part and put another coat on before he tries to shape the rest of it to make it a bit easier. When I look at the front, I notice that it looks like he put in some air guides right here. They'll just channel the air towards the radiator. And he's doing some body work across this panel. I don't know what kind of condition it was in before. He's also building a box to go over the brake box back there. And there's some mesh that he's using to build the grill with. I'm still working on my Volvo, but it's coming along. I've got some more work to do to it. They've got the dash panel sitting in place. It has a nice shape to it. It's kind of low profile. I think this is the first time that I've seen it with that lower section in there also. I don't know if they're going to cover it with like maybe a butterscotch or a caramel color of a leather or black, or what they're going to do with that. They might just paint it. I think it might look nice with a caramel or a butterscotch color of a leather, but I don't know what colors they're going to go with for the interior yet. This is the transmission. This is the passenger side motor mount that I ordered off of eBay. It said in their cross-referencing parts database that the mount would work, but it doesn't. I didn't know what exactly the mount looked like until I took it out, so otherwise I would have bought one that looked more like this. This is an IPD transmission mount, so it's going to be more solid than the factory mount is, which will just be better for performance. There's my Volvo, my black leather Volvo backpack. I bought that when I was working as a Volvo technician. You know, leather's forever and it's holding up. I've had to repair it a few times, but I usually overload it and put too much weight in it. But it's nice and durable, and I can, it works for me. I like it. This is the rear of the MG GT. I think there were some backup lights or something right there on both sides, and they've been filled in. And there's a recessed area for the license plate. There's the back hatch. There used to be MG GT emblems right here, where the emblems had little things that stuck through, and then there were retainers on the other side of them. So now there's those holes in the back hatch. I think they're going to fill those holes in and make a different type of I think they're going to fill those holes in and have some other sort of MG GT logos or nameplates. I can't remember what they're called. The emblems, sorry. I think they're going to have different emblems made. This is the trunk. This is just a pan that goes on the back of the trunk to seal everything in. I don't know. I assume there's probably going to be a second piece here. Maybe it will hinge. I'm not sure how they're going to end up doing that. I was wondering what these parts were for. They're for the roll bars. The roll bars will come back from right there and go all the way down to right there on both sides. Because like before, I was wondering what they were for, but it makes sense that the roll bars could attach to those instead of going all the way down to where the frame is down at the bottom. This is the grill for the MG GT that my dad's working on. He's putting some mesh in right there. Looks like he was drilling some holes using some of these Cleco fasteners. These fasteners are kind of cool. They have their own pliers, and when you squeeze on the pliers, it opens up the fastener. I don't know what the spring tension is on these pliers, but I don't know what the spring tension is on these fasteners, but it's pretty tight. And those fasteners can hold some panels together to do some temporary welding or fitting like this. See, he put some rivets up in there, up on that area. And then there's fasteners down there. He still has some more work to do on it, but it should look pretty nice with that mesh. I went to the salvage yard today to get a new front brake caliper for my Volvo, because my caliper wasn't going to be worth rebuilding because it had some corrosion damage. While I was there, I found a set of brake pads. These brake pads are OEM, which is Original Equipment Manufacturer, so they were produced by Volvo. They're a quality set of brake pads. They would probably cost maybe $55 or $65 at the dealership, and when I bought the caliper, he pretty much just threw them into the deal. So if I would have gone to an auto parts store, I would have paid maybe $25 for a set of pads, and these are of higher quality than what I would have bought at an auto parts store.